Welcome in, sports fans. You know the drill. If you are an OG on this channel, comment OG down in the comments. If you are new, comment your favorite professional team down below. We got a lot to talk about today. We got NFL, UFC. We got some basketball news, some LeBron James trade rumors, some UFC 318, some UFC recap, and of course, to start off, we have football news. Not a lot of football news going on. We are in the dark times right now. A long way until the football season, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. We have the home run derby tonight to help carry us through. But other than that, basketball's over, hockey's over, baseball's doing its best to carry us to the promised land. Last night, I found myself watching the Big Three. And I'm not saying it's not entertaining. The Big Three is very entertaining basketball, but nothing can fill that void of good, hard-nosed American football. But you know, we're going to talk about it. The Browns in the news, per usual. What's new? Probably the most cursed franchise in the NFL. Starting off, I know you've heard about it. Everyone who's drafted their fantasy teams thus far, I am sorry. Quinshon Judkins. Now, what's going to come of this? Who knows? We all know how cases like this go. And when I say cases, it's going to be an interesting one. Cleveland Browns second-round pick Quinshon Judkins was arrested in Fort Lauderdale on charges of misdemeanor battery. Dating back to an incident earlier in the day, the NFL is investigating while the Browns gather facts. A significant off-field concern as training camp approaches. I get, you got a bunch of guys coming from a bunch of different backgrounds. I drafted you, brother. I drafted you in a dynasty. Let's lock it in. Now, you see guys get in trouble like this all the time. What do I think this means for Quinshon Judkins? One, charges are either it's a misdemeanor. Charges are either going to get dropped, 3-game suspension, something. They probably won't even be suspended till next season. We have to make better choices off the field to all these younger athletes. I mean, we've seen stuff from this all the way to what's happening with Rashee Rice, right? That went with street racing and hit and run, just crazy stuff happening. Quinshon Judkins probably won't get suspended. If Quinshon Judkins serves a suspension for this year and Rashee Rice doesn't serve a suspension this year, I'm going to be livid. More Browns news on the table. Browns quarterback depth update. There are rumors that Shedeur Sanders, highly touted son of Deion Sanders, we all know that, dog quarterback. Like I've said, I think they need to roll Shedeur Sanders out as QB1. Cleveland, you got nothing going for you. You got Joe Flacco. You have Kenny Pickett, no one wants to see. You got Dylan Gabriel, short king. And then you have, almost said Deion Sanders. You have Shedeur Sanders. I think he's going to put the most butts in seats. I think he has I thought he had a good opportunity to start going into the season, but apparently he is the 4th quarterback on the Cleveland Browns depth chart right now, which is insane to me because you got, like I just said, you got an older quarterback. You got Dylan Gabriel, like size concerns. Allegedly, he was having a hard time with the offense. Now, you cannot trust rumors coming out because everyone's going to say everything. We're all grasping for something from the football world right now. We're all grasping for something to talk about. So who knows how true Shedeur Sanders being 4th on the depth chart is. I think going into the year, he will be 1st. I think you put him out there because regardless, butts and seats is going to trump everything. And if he can go out there and he can win some games with his name being what it is, with the quarterback being who he is, I think this could be a big thing for the Cleveland. And y'all keep missing. Y'all keep missing. I feel like they're cursed. I won't say they're missing. I feel like they're cursed from the Judkins thing to the Sanders thing. You haven't been able to hit on a quarterback in years. You go get Baker Mayfield. You let him go. Now he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You trade for Deshaun Watson. Look at whoever made that decision should never be a general manager in football ever again. I'm just saying. More news out of the NFL world. Top quarterback Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and tight end George Kittle are pushing for a second bye week, which I don't think is a bad decision. We're seeing a lot of bad injuries in today's game, and they're trying to lengthen the season. Lord have mercy. 18 games. That's a lot of football. I'm not here to complain about it, but that is a lot of football, a lot of physicality for guys that are just, everyone's banged up and beat up at the end of the season. I think there needs to be a universal bye week. Yes, that would suck. I think you do. I don't know what you would put in place of that universal bye week. To maybe, I don't know if you just have like just a week where there's no football. I think if you add 18 games, if you don't do 2 bye weeks, universal bye week for everyone, let everyone get healthy, or you do 1 universal bye week and you do a week before playoffs, maybe everyone gets, I don't know. There's a lot going on with it. I do think these guys need more bye weeks. I think they need more time off just so the teams can be healthy. You hate seeing guys go out there, ACLs, MCLs, which MCL not as bad. Well, I say not as bad. It's not as bad as a Achilles or an ACL. Just these nitpicky injuries that I think giving these guys more time. And we have to do better. I think it's the Cowboys this year. It was the Steelers last year, have like 4 games in the span of like 14 days or something ridiculous. Not 4. It's something ridiculous. They play 4 games back to back to back to back really close. It's around Thanksgiving. And of course, they play like the Eagles that Thursday or that Sunday. And then that Thursday on Thanksgiving, they play someone else. But before that Sunday, they play like a Thursday. And it's something insane. They're going to have to do better about that because this is where we are losing guys on the field, and that hurts ratings. Yeah, you're losing quarterbacks, you're losing starting quarterbacks. It's like, who wants to watch the Dallas Cowboys without Dak Prescott? Who wants to watch the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow? You got to protect your players. You need another bye week. I think we'll all be okay with that. Heading into one of our biggest topics, SB Nation is out here openly disrespecting a quarterback. I'm not going to tell you what quarterback it is. They did a top 10 list with 3 honorable mentions. So top 13 of quarterbacks going into 2025. This is who they think is going to thrive in the year of 2025. I'm going to let y'all guess down in the comments what quarterback they left out. We're going to start with the honorable mentions. At HM, we have Trevor Lawrence, which I think Trevor Lawrence is a dog at quarterback. I think he's been given the short end of the stick over and over again. They're finally kind of getting the coaching in there. They're getting the staff in there. They're getting the players in there. They're building the team the way they want to. I think this team is going to do a complete 180 this year. I've always believed in the Jags. I've always believed in Trevor Lawrence, and I think he can absolutely go out there and ball, but time is ticking. You got to go out there. You got to I'm not saying go win the Super Bowl. I'm saying go and win some playoff games. Another honorable mention, Jaden Daniels. And with him, so y'all know how I am. I don't like putting rookie quarterbacks in my top 10. I hate doing it. Don't think they deserve to be there. Think we got to see year 2. Got to see the sophomore slump. Got to see how teams adjust to them. Jaden Daniels, clock me saying this, is different. He has something different on the field. It's like he's been in the league. He's been in that leadership role for years and years to come. The way he adapted, the coaching staff he has around him, the team he has around him, just surrounded by veterans that have all been Super Bowl winners, from the coaching staff to the players, just so much talent and knowledge around him. I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I think he's going to show us a lot of good things this year. Our last honorable mention, Jared Goff. Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions. Now, it's going to be hard for him to replicate the season he had last year. Can he do it? Maybe. I'm going to have to see how the offense, I think he does drop on this list. I don't know how good their new offensive coordinator is going to be compared to a dog, a demon like Benjamin Johnson. So Jared Goff, I think still in the top 13 is reasonable. At number 10, we're into the top 10, ladies and gentlemen, CJ Bernard Stroud. Now, I'll put CJ Stroud in the top 10 right now, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll do my list one day. This is just their list. This is my list. SB Nation has CJ Stroud at number 10. I think he's going to have a solid year this year. I think they took a big hit at wide receiver. Their O-line kind of got worse. He's going to have to go out there and absolutely ball out this year. At number 9, Geno Smith. Now, Geno Smith has been very consistent with the Seattle Seahawks, and I think he went to I don't want to say a better team. I feel like he went to a more high-powered offense, if that makes sense. I love JSN. I'm a Seahawks fan. Love JSN. Love our run game. Love everything we have on offense. Brock Bowers is a dog. I think the wide receiver room over there got nothing but better. The run game got nothing but better. Is the O-line going to be able to hold up behind him? I don't know. We'll see. He is reuniting with head coach Pete Carroll. I think we could see Geno Smith crack the top 10 quarterbacks this year. At number 8, just remember, y'all are supposed to be listening for what quarterback did not make the top 10. And I'm telling you, it's a top 5 quarterback they didn't put in the top 13. At number 8, we have Jordan Love. Now, this is an interesting situation. Is Jordan Love going to go into the year, and is he going to stay healthy all year? He looked great at the beginning of last year. That first game of the year, and he got hurt, and he was making a comeback drive. It was just pure sickening. I think Jordan Love has the intangibles. I think he has the team. He definitely has the run game. He definitely has the O-line. He definitely has the coaching. The wide receiver core is kind of a question. Is Matthew Golden going to come in? Is he going to step into that role that is going to help Jordan Love progress as a quarterback? I don't know. We'll see. He's really been throwing to nothing but wide receiver 2s and 3s all year. Can the tight end room stay healthy? I think Jordan Love at number 8 is a good decision. Now, this one at number 7, I think is a top 10 quarterback. Number 7 for SB Nation's top 10 quarterbacks is Dakota Wayne Prescott III. Now, this baffles me. He's above the guy not on the list. I have said year in, year out, I think Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback, but Father Time is undefeated, ladies and gentlemen. The more injuries he has, the less mobile he is getting. Can he produce another top 10 year? Is it going to be Dak producing, or is it going to be CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens out there absolutely hooping? If they can get that run game going in Dallas, and they can get CD and they can get Pickens and they can get Dak all rolling on the same wavelength, the Dallas Cowboys are going to finish 3rd in that division. I mean, that division is really up for grabs. Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles. I think Commanders and Eagles have an edge on them. That's why I think Cowboys might finish 3rd. But if the Cowboys can get it cooking, if they can get the defense cooking, the run game cooking, something can happen. At number 6, we have Father Time himself, Matthew Stafford. Now, the Rams, I want to say, got better at wide receiver core. If Puka can stay healthy, you add, oh my gosh, who did they add? I'm losing my mind. Devontae Adams. They add Devontae Adams in the wide receiver room. I'm going to say an upgrade from Cooper Kupp just because how he can stay healthy. I think that's going to be a major addition to the Rams. If the defense can do any better than last year, the Rams are going to be a contender. We're getting into the top 5, ladies and gentlemen, and the top 5 seems solid. But again, we'll talk about who they're missing at the very end. At number 5, we have Justin Herbert, who is yet to win a playoff game in his career. How he is up here in the top 5 quarterbacks is absolutely mind-boggling. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about the quarterback they left out, because you already know 4, 3, 2, and 1. Obviously 4, Josh Allen, 3, Joe Burrow, 2, Lamar Jackson, and 1, Patty Mahomes himself, the GOAT in the league currently. Who's missing off this list, ladies and gentlemen? Who is Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, all sitting above? Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl champion, Jalen Hurts. Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts is missing off a top 13 quarterback list. And I get it. The defense carried him. My God. The run game carried him. Jalen Hurts went out there in that Super Bowl and cooked in the passing game. We know Jalen Hurts can pass the ball. Why would you go out there and have Jalen Hurts pass the ball when Saquon Barkley is a dog? Jalen Hurts can go out there and get it done through the air with his legs, however he needs to do it. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in this league. And the fact SB Nation doesn't have him as a top 10 quarterback in 2025, who do y'all have over here writing articles? They were just like, oh, we're going to put Geno Smith over Jalen Hurts. Oh, we're going to put Dak Prescott over Jalen Hurts. Oh, we're going to put Justin Herbert, who's never won a playoff game, over Jalen Hurts. Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP, right? Jalen Hurts. SB Nation, what are we doing? Get me on the payroll. This list is atrocious. It's not terrible. I would change some things around. I would move some guys around. I might put Dak at 10. I don't know. But Jalen Hurts not being on this list is disrespectful. It's insane. It's wild. I think I'm agreeing with the top 4. Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow. Allen, I like that. At 5, I'd probably put Jalen Hurts. 6, Matthew Stafford, I like that. 7, I'd probably go Jordan Love. 8, I'd probably go Dak Prescott. 9, CJ Stroud. 9, I'd go Jared Goff. 10, I would go Jaden Daniels. Honorable mentions, we're going T-Law. We're going CJ Stroud. Lock me in. That's my top 13 quarterbacks in the league. Moving on to the NBA. And there is some insane news we have to talk about in the NBA, the National Basketball Association. Giannis Antetokounmpo to start off this segment, probably not leaving Milwaukee. This man is loyal to the T. They went and released Damian Lillard. He seemed kind of upset about that. I don't think it's a bad move. I guess you're still paying him all that money. I'm not sure. I'm not too in-depth on how the aprons work. I know if you go over the second apron and you're there for 1 year, you get a luxury tax. 2 years, you start losing draft picks. Don't know how much they were paying Dame, how much they couldn't have been over the second apron. They have no one. Now they have Miles Turner, solid pickup. Do I think it makes the Bucks tremendously better? Absolutely not. If I was Giannis, I would still be looking for a team. He's still got years left. They can still turn it around. He can still go get one more ring. I think Giannis needs to start ring chasing. But, I mean, his legacy is great in Milwaukee. He could retire, first ballot Hall of Fame. He's going in. Stay loyal. You don't see guys stay loyal to teams anymore. I think Giannis is trying to be one of those guys that stays loyal to his team. But, boy, are they making it hard. It's not really their fault, you know. Who wants to go live in Milwaukee? Who wants to go ball in Milwaukee? Not a lot of guys. So, the big news out of the NBA, multiple teams have contacted the Los Angeles Lakers about the GOAT, LeBron James, in the trade rumors. Now, obviously, LeBron would have to waive his no trade clause. It's going to be hard to make trades that don't look crazy lopsided just to match his cap space, so no one's going over an apron. No one's going having to like murder their salary cap. So, the 4 teams we have are personal made trade packages. We're going to start with our team number 1, the Dallas Mavericks, and why this makes sense. You take LeBron James, you pair him back with AD, who he's won a ring with. You pair him back with Kyrie, who he's won a ring with. You put him with the young up-and-coming dog, Cooper Flagg, who can learn an immense amount from a generational prospect in LeBron James. The Mavs are giving up Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes, and a 2027 first-round pick. Now, all my football fans out there, first-round picks in the NBA have nowhere near the value of first-round picks in the NFL. I just want to throw that out there. And the Mavs receive LeBron James and Jackson Hayes. We're throwing Jackson Hayes in there to kind of even out the salaries. So yeah, Gafford, Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes, 2027 first-round pick. Mavs fans, let me know. Are you doing this trade? Do you think it's worth it? At number 2, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James heading home for one last run in Cleveland. Can they get it done? They had a lot of problems last year, a lot of injuries. The Cavs are giving up Amani Bates, a young guy that can go over to LA. They're giving up Jared Allen. Now, the Jared Allen, it took me a little bit, and I was just like, they got to move Mobley to the center, right? They're going to move Mobley to the center. They're going to give up Jared Allen. And the Lakers are going to use Jared Allen as trade leverage because they're just going to move Mobley to center. And a 2031st. Now, I think this is very cheap for LeBron James. He's 40. You're giving up Amani Bates, younger guy, don't know what he's going to turn into. Jared Allen, I think he's got, 2 more years on his contract. You give him up. You move a younger, more athletic Mobley to center, and you just deal with it. The Lakers are going to trade him anyways. And you give up a 2031st. You're getting LeBron James, probably Jackson Hayes. I think Jackson Hayes is in all of our trade packages here. Next, we have the LA Clippers. Now, John Collins, I'm sorry. I know you just got in LA. I know you just got to the Clippers. Well, we're sending you to the other team in LA. You're going to the Los Angeles Lakers. You're going to be solid for a Lakers rebuild. The Clippers are also going to give up Bogdanovich, a high IQ shooter with playoff experience, and a 2028 first-round pick for LeBron James, pairing LeBron with Kawhi with James Harden, with a bunch of older dogs that have been there, done that, to help Harden get a ring. We need Harden. We need a Harden ring season. That's what we need to see. I would love to see that. So yeah, next we have the last but not least, we have the Golden State Warriors. Now this one makes a lot of sense to me too. LeBron and Curry have been very vocal about playing with each other. You got Jimmy Butler over there. The bad thing about that team, when all these guys retire, the Warriors are going to be terrible. But, you know, we had to throw a trade package together. Obviously, it's going to have Kuminga in it because for some reason the Warriors want to get rid of Kuminga. He doesn't fit their scheme. All right, this is going to be a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander moment. You're going to send Kuminga somewhere, and he's going to turn into a dog. The Warriors are going to give up Kuminga, Ponzinibbski. They're going to send Tracy Jackson-Davis and a 2026 first for LeBron James and Jackson Hayes. This is pairing LeBron with Curry, two of the greatest to ever do it, for one last ring run. I like it. I like the trades. I think all of them work. All of them are salary efficient. All of them make sense. Now, are there other teams that could potentially come up? I mean, these are the teams I think with the best options, the best salary cap, and the best opportunity to go win a ring with an old LeBron James, with aging teams, with young teams. I think all these teams have a good mixture of youth and, well, other than the Warriors, they're all just like 36 years old. So that would be an interesting scenario to watch them go through. If I was going to pick a team for LeBron to get traded to, I've said Mavs for the past few years. I'm going to lock in and I'm going to go LeBron James on the Dallas Mavericks. The Clippers make a little more sense. Keep him in LA. His son's still in school over there, I believe. The Warriors, you go play with Curry. The Cavs, you go home. All of these teams outside of basketball just makes, other than the Mavs, I guess. Outside of basketball, all the other teams other than the Mavs make sense. So I'm going with Mavs. I can see Cavs, Clippers, Warriors. And that is it for our NBA segment, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot happening in the NBA today, but that just means we get to spend more time on our UFC. And we had a banger UFC card this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking Derek the Black Beast Lewis taking out Taliesin Teixeira in 35 seconds. Now, was it a bad stoppage? That can be argued. I can also argue that it's heavyweights. Bro got clipped on his chin, wasn't defending himself, and Spider-Man climbed his way. He's not getting back on his feet if he just doesn't cheat to get back on his feet, ladies and gentlemen. I think the ref had that in mind, and I think that was an amazing stoppage. Black Beast with the win. We're going to go through the main card. We're also going to talk about our future matchups for the winners and the losers of every one of these main card fights, starting with, we'll start at the bottom, starting with Tuco Tacos and Junior Tafa. Now, we'll start with the winner and loser of, the losers of actually the last two fights, Junior Tafa and Austin Lane. You're going to put them against each other. Austin Lane's won like 2 fights, maybe 1 fight in the UFC out of like 6, something like that. Junior Tafa's not on an impressive streak himself. I think he's won like 2 out of like 7, 6, something like that. They both got power. They both got submitted, and they both fought. Austin Lane has fought Vitor Petrino, who he just fought the other night, and Tuco Tokos, who also submitted him, I believe. So I think you take Austin Lane, and I think you take Junior Tafa, and I think you have them fight each other to see who's going to keep a UFC title. Not a title. It's a title. To keep a UFC contract. Book me Austin Lane, Junior Tafa, few months down the line, some prelim on like some random UFC fight night. Next, we have Tuco Tokos, who beat Junior Tafa. I think Tokos is going to fight Bruno Lopez. Tokos earned his first win by submission, dominating Tafa on the ground. It was a domination on the ground, all right. His stand-up is not great. He got clipped. He got caught a few times. He got put in some bad situations. He went out there, went to what he does best, started wrestling, got Tafa on the ground, and absolutely dominated him. And I think Bruno Lopez, a guy who can go out there, hold his own on the ground. He's got the hands. I think this will be a big step up for Tuco Tokos. And I know I'm saying his name wrong. I'm so sorry. So I think I'm booking Tuco Tokos and Bruno Lopez. Next, we have Vitor Petrino, who defeated Austin Lane. I think you're putting him against Mario Pinto. Why this fits, both guys have smacked Austin Lane. Both guys have mauled Austin Lane in the year of 2025, so it just makes sense to me. You both just beat Austin Lane, who can't win a fight in the UFC. How about y'all fight each other? And we'll see how that one goes. Next, we have Calvin Kattar, a man who is just falling from the graces of the UFC. Can't win a fight to save his life. I think you put Calvin Kattar against Josh Emmett. Now I get, why would you give Calvin Kattar Josh Emmett after he just lost to a guy lower in the rankings? Josh Emmett's also coming off a loss. I think Josh Emmett kind of needs a tune-up fight. I think you give him Calvin Kattar. Now this matchup, this stylistic matchup, will be good for both gentlemen. They're going to stand there. They're going to bang Calvin Kattar, a more precise striker. Josh Emmett, we all know he has that devastating power in the division. Give me Calvin Kattar. Give me Josh Emmett. Next, we have Steve Garcia. Garcia, unanimous decision over Calvin Kattar. Showcased his full skill set, facing Onama. David Onama, ladies and gentlemen, number 13 in the featherweight rankings, I think will be a good jump for Steve Garcia. It'll put him against a guy in the rankings. It's not too crazy up there that doesn't have a ton of experience, but you put these guys against each other. Can David Onama take out another touting prospect? Can Steve Garcia take out another guy? Can Steve Garcia take another guy out in the rankings and continue his climb in the featherweight division? Ooh, this next one hurt, boys. This next one hurt a lot. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Now, we're getting closer and closer to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson hanging the gloves up, and that makes me sick to my stomach. I'm looking at an update right now. His shin was split to the bone. Ladies and gentlemen, and when you do kickboxing, when you do karate like that, just so much scar tissue on the legs, it's going to happen. Split to the bone is absolute sick work. I'm glad he left with a minor injury compared to what he could have left with. Wonderboy loves fighting, but how much time does he have left in the octagon? I think this next fight could potentially be his last one. I really think if he would have won last night, he would have took the gloves off. This is just, Stephen Thompson is just a guy who loves the fight game. I could see him fighting forever, but I think you throw him a layup like Santiago Ponzinibbio, however you say his name, or Geoff Neal. You just throw him a lob. Be like, look, man, go win this, retire off a dub. I would love to see Wonderboy get him one more dub and then retire. Next, we have Gabriel Bonfim and Geoff Neal. Oh, wait, no. Gabriel Bonfim, I think he's going to fight Geoff Neal or Carlos Prates. Bonfim off a split decision win against Thompson. Didn't look great. But if you still want to keep him moving up the rankings, I would love to see him fight Carlos Prates. I'm not really interested in Geoff Neal. I would love to see him fight Carlos Prates, but is Carlos Prates too big of a name for Bonfim to fight at this point? I could see them throwing Prates, just keep lobbing him at guys up at the top. So I want to see Gabriel Bonfim and Carlos Prates. That's my matchup right there. Next, we have Taliesin Teixeira, and my matchup for him is Sergey Spivak. Spivak coming off a loss, not the greatest record in the heavyweight division, but he has shined at moments. He's 1-4 in his last 5. There's still a lot of competition for Teixeira out there. I don't think you lower him too much. I think you lob him a guy up towards the top that's just not great. I think Spivak can still give him a challenge, have him redeem himself after a 35-second knockout, and I think if he goes out there and wins that, he's still in contention for a top ranking. And last but not least, we have Derek, the Black Beast Lewis. A lot of stuff swirling in the UFC world right now. Could Derek Lewis, at the ripe age of 40 years old, make one more belt run? He's one of the only guys in the potentially back at the top that the new champion Tom Aspinall has not seen yet, and I think it could make for a good matchup. I think you put Derek Lewis against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Acosta is on a 5-fight win streak. He's number 6 ranked. I think Derek Lewis goes out there, he beats him, he's back in the good graces of the top 6, top 5, and that could put him, and with Tom Aspinall have beating everyone else. If he goes out there and beats Cortez Acosta and it lines up perfectly, maybe you do it on the same card as Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, I think we could see the Black Beast fight Tom Aspinall not one last. I think we could see the Black Beast challenge for a belt one last time. And that's all we want to see. A great guy, Derek Lewis, an entertainer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're all talking about John Jones on that White House card. I want John Jones versus Tom Aspinall on the White House lawn would be a W. I want Derek the Black Beast. I want someone that can beat Tom Aspinall, right? Derek Lewis hopefully could go out there and knock him out. John Jones has the best opportunity to beat him. That card is going to be interesting. That USA card is going to be interesting just because the White House, by the way, that's the end of all of our matchups from the winners and losers. The White House card is going to be interesting. It's a year out. There's a lot they're going to have to do. It's going to be on the South Lawn next to the White House in the background, Washington Monument. We got to get some dogs from America out there, ladies and gentlemen. America is down bad in the title reign right now. We have one American champion, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Kayla Harrison. That is sick work. We got to get the trench babies in the gyms. That's what we got to do. We got to get the trench babies in the gyms. We got to get the people that are hungry to go out there and be great and fight for their life, because we're getting killed by these other countries right now, and we cannot be getting embarrassed on the White House lawn, ladies and gentlemen. On to our UFC 218 picks, predictions, and upsets. Starting with my favorite prelim on the card, we have Kyler Phillips and Vinicia Oliveira. Now, Vinicia Oliveira had one of my favorite knockouts of the year. I want to say, was it last year or the year before? He had a flying knee that was absolutely beautiful. Oliveira is a 160 favorite in this fight, and I think I'm rocking with Oliveira. Starting on our main card, we have Michael Johnson taking on Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber, one of those guys with devastating dynamite knockout power in those hands. He is a 600 favorite. Give me Daniel Zellhuber. We have Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull's UFC debut didn't go as planned. Now he is coming in another underdog in this fight. He's trying to get a win in the UFC. Now they are giving him $50K. Dan Ige, a guy that is scared of no man. He's scared of no challenge. He will come in on a day's notice if you need him to. And if you think that's an exaggeration, we have seen him do it. We have seen Dan Ige step in that octagon on less than a 24-hour notice. Dog. Dan the Dog Ige. That's what his name needs to be. Going against Patricio Pitbull. I feel like they're trying to throw Pitbull a lob right here, but at the same time, Dan Ige can go out there and bang with the best of them. I think that this is going to be a pick 'em by fight night. I'm rocking with Dan the Man, 50K Ige. Next, the best fight on this card, other than the main event. It might still be the best fight on this card. Kevin Holland makes every card amazing. We love a good Kevin Holland fight. We're always going to rock with Kevin Holland. Don't care who he's fighting. I'm picking him. A 475 favorite against Daniel Rodriguez. Now, Daniel Rodriguez has the heart. He's a dog. But ladies and gentlemen, there are levels to this. I'm rocking with Kevin Holland, one of my favorite fighters ever, if not my favorite fighter ever, next to like Charles Oliveira. Paulo Costa, Koplyov. Give me Koplyov. We're not going to talk about that fight long. Last but not least, our main event of the evening. We have Max Holloway taking on Dustin the Diamond Poirier. The big thing right now is Lil Wayne is walking out with Dustin Poirier for his retirement fight. I'm thinking the song, and this is going to be a lob right here from half court, Blunt Blowin'. If you listen to the beginning of Blunt Blowin', and you don't even have to play the chorus, there are like multiple things within the song that just make me think Dustin Poirier. This is something Dustin Poirier would walk out to. I think it's an amazing song, one of Lil Wayne's best. Dustin Poirier is walking out to Blunt Blowing. This is a pick'em. This will be a pick'em. It's a 130 favorite for Max Holloway right now. I don't know how it's a 130 favorite because Dustin Poirier, again and again, you're like, oh, this guy's good at boxing. Get in the pocket with the diamond. We're going to see who's good at boxing now. Dustin Poirier has 2 wins over Max Holloway in their career, 2-0. Looking for the big 3-0 on his way out. Max Holloway looking to stay at the top of the rankings and make one more title run to see if he can see Ilia Topuria one last time in that octagon. He feels like he doesn't hit as hard as everyone says he does. And then there's Max Holloway laying on the canvas. Anyways, this is a hard one. I'm picking, ooh, this one makes me sick. This fight right here actually makes me sick. I am going to go with, oh my Lord, have mercy. Chat, who are y'all rocking with in this one? This makes me sick to think about. I love Max. I want to see Dustin go out with a win on his retirement. What's that going to do to Max's mental, though? He's still got a few years left. I'm going Dustin Poirier, chat. I'm going Dustin Poirier. His boxing in the pocket is good. Can Max knock him out? Dustin can get him up against the fence. He can take him down. Has Max Holloway's ground game progressed? I don't know. We'll find out. Give me Dustin the Diamond Poirier going out there and getting a win against Mad Max Holloway. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our UFC 318 picks, predictions, and upsets. Let me know your favorite pick and your favorite upset down in the comments. Short episode today, ladies and gentlemen. That will be it for our Any Given Monday podcast. I want to say again, I appreciate each and every one of you listening in. We will be cutting this into multiple videos. I hope y'all have an absolute amazing rest of your Monday, an absolute amazing rest of your week. We will be back next Monday with more NFL, UFC, NBA content. And on Fridays, we are going to start our NCAA Dynasty run. So y'all make sure y'all tune in with that. Make sure you get in the Discord, drop a like, drop a follow. I love each and every one of you. We will catch y'all on the next episode.